It's math time with Heinz. It's math time with Heinz. Math time.
Hi everybody, welcome to lesson 4 where we're going to continue multiplying polynomials. So today's just a practice day of making sure we're good at multiplying and understand how to do it. So rewrite each polynomial in standard form. So I've got x minus 4 squared here, and this requires us to remember, what is a squared exponent? What does an exponent actually mean? Well, an exponent really means I'm multiplying this factor by itself. So I have a binomial times a binomial here, so I'm going to make my table. X minus 4 times x minus 4. And now I find the product of these terms. X times x is x squared. Repeated multiplication becomes an exponent. This gives me negative 4x, and positive 16. So now I add all these terms together. So what does this really equal? It really equals x squared minus 8x, negative 4, plus 16. So that's how I square a binomial. I square a binomial by finding the product of that factor with itself. And another binomial times a binomial here. So I have 2x plus 1 times x plus 3. So again, let's make our table. I've got 2x plus 1 and x plus 3. So remember, 2 times 1 is 2, x times x is x squared. 1x, 6x, I'm multiplying right now, and 3. So these two factors have a product of 2x squared. I have 7 x's in my table plus 3. And that right there is my solution. That's my product to those two factors. So we talked about this in the last lesson, but let's go over it again. Find the following product. Notice I'm multiplying 3 binomial factors together here, and I'm not drawing a 3D shape on my paper, so what I'm going to do is find the product of 2 of them. So let me find the product of these 2. It doesn't matter which 2 you pick. If for some reason you want to do those 2 or the first and the third, go for it. But I'm going to find the product of these 2 guys first as step 1. So x plus 1 times x minus 4. And I'm going to complete this table. And we have to develop some kind of fluency, some speed when we find these products here. So what are these 2 factors really equivalent to? X squared, negative 3x minus 4. The product of those 2 factors is really the same as that trinomial. They look different, but they're really the same polynomial there. Times, I still have this 2x plus 3 floating around here. So I'm going to do a second step of multiplying. So now I'm going to do step 2 here, where I'm going to find the product of x squared minus 3x minus 4 times 2x plus 3. So notice, since I have a trinomial now, my table needs to get a little bit bigger. Times 2 is 2. I have 2 x's coming down from the top and 1 x coming from the side, so that gives me x to the third. Negative 6, 1x and another x is x squared, because I'm finding a product right now. So that was the first application of the distributive property. Now let's just distribute through this 3. Remember, these tables are really just us applying the distributive property in an organized fashion. I'm losing my negatives left and right here. So my final answer is, this is when we combine our like terms. 2x to the third, negative 3x squared, right? Negative 6 plus 3, or 3 minus 6. Negative 17x minus 12. That polynomial, that 4-term polynomial, is the product of these 3 factors. If I multiply these 3 factors together, I end up getting that 4-termed cubic x to the third cubic polynomial there. All right, this is as worst case scenario as I'm going to get with you, I mean, in theory, I could make these polynomials as large as I wanted, but I have a trinomial by a trinomial. So we got a lot of work to do here. We've got a trinomial times a trinomial. So it's a 3 by 3 table that we end up making. I'm going to put a 1 there just so I know. So here we go. Let's start. We got 9 boxes to fill in. Let's start by distributing this 1x squared. 2x to the 4th, right? 2 times 1 is 2. X squared and x squared multiplied x to the 4th. 10x to the 3rd. All right, now let's distribute the next value. Let's distribute in this x. So everybody's getting kicked up a notch of x. Everyone's getting upgraded by a factor of x. And finally, multiplying by 1 is my favorite thing to do. Multiplying by 1 is my absolute favorite thing to do because I just get to rewrite it. Times 1 times 1. So now we have to look for our like terms and combine them together. So I have 2x to the 4th. And if we look at this diagonal here, remember we always look at our diagonal, we check. It might not always happen, but our diagonal should have our like terms on it. I have 10 and 2, which gives me 12x to the 3rd. 1, 10, and 2 gives me 13x squared. 1 and 10 gives me 11 x's. And then I have that plain old constant term of 1. So this right here is my product. And again, I can make these tables as large as I need to. 2 by 4, 3 by 3, 5 by 10. I'm not going to do that craziness to you. But if you can do this one, you're in good shape. All right, so if we were in class right now, we'd spend some time practicing on little whiteboards and having a competition, but we're not. So I'm going to jump to this middle problem here. You should be able to do all of these. I just want to quickly talk about this one here. So again, I have 3 factors. So I can only multiply 2 factors together at once. So I'm going to start by multiplying these guys and then just applying the distributive property as my second step. So my first step here is going to be find this product. Find the product of 2x plus 1 and 3x minus 2. Let's finish this up. 6x squared, I'm finding a product, I'm multiplying. So that product is 6x squared minus 1x minus 2. But again, I have that factor of x just hanging outside. And now I'm going to distribute it. 6x to the 3rd minus 1x squared. Everybody's getting kicked up a level in terms of x's, and that's my final answer. Okay, so again, there were 3 factors there, but you didn't need to make another table because you just had to apply the distributive property. These problems are here for you to practice. Remember, how do I deal with a cube? Well, squaring is 2 of the factors. Cubing is going to be multiplying 3 of the factors together. These questions are for you to practice, and I will post a picture of just the answers, not the work to these problems. Maybe I'll show you the work too. The answers to these will be online, but what you're going to be submitting is this homework page. So this page here is for your own information if you want to practice and get really good at these. Because if you don't do these, you're not going to be really good at them, and that's going to be a problem. But what I'm going to have you guys submit is page 15 of the homework. And I'll see you guys in the next lesson or in person. Who knows when I'll see you.